Hey everybody, Adam Savage, and I'm in the bowels of the Metropolitan Museum of Art alongside assistant curator Marina. And Marina, we have in front of us an array of objects that still get used today in a contemporary setting, but very elaborate. Walk me through, what are these crazy things?
These are horse bits.
That's it?
Yeah, this is horse bits. So these are the things like you put in the horse's mouth to control it, basically. This.
Okay.
And that's actually maybe the simplest form of horse bits. Its shape goes back from the earlier equestrian in the world, in the late prehistoric period, and we're still making those today. So contemporary equestrian may recognize this. You can still buy such a bit.
Yeah.
And they were used, this one is 16th century though, they were still used, but most of the time when you think about war horses or horses used by noble people in the 16th century, these are the things you will rather find.
They were more likely to have these kind of bits?
Yes. So this kind of bit is called, the whole category today, a curb bit. Mm-hmm. This is a snaffle bit. So the difference here is it has a leverage effect. So here the reins are attached here, so you only control what's in the mouth and the corner of the mouth.
Gotcha.
Here, because the reins are usually at the bottom of this big levers, basically, and the mouth of the horse goes over here, it adds some control. So that's
and that gives that lever effect gives a lot more subtlety.
Exactly. In addition, you have something called the curb chain here that goes around the horse's chin. So you would press against the horse's chin and add some control.
So these all spin? Are these for the horse to roll his tongue over?
Yeah, exactly. So you have all different kind of what's called a mouthpiece, so the piece that goes into the horse's mouth, and you have all different combinations. And they wanted the horse to actually to play with what's in the mouth, because you want your horse's mouth to be relaxed. You don't want it to be holding the bit between the teeth like this. So in order to the bit to be efficient and the horse to be comfortable, you need the horse to kind of masticate his bit a little bit. So they will add all those rollers and all these toys this.
This was the horse bit here?
Yeah, exactly. The mouth is over here. So that's an extreme.
And these roll?
Yeah, everything rolls, and it actually would press against the horse's palate. So this one is a bit harsh, even for the period. But some of them are far more. This is late 17th century. So this may look impressive. That's actually rather comfortable. This is very, very
It's
simple.
a very mild.
Yeah, exactly.
Horses are incredibly expressive. They're very opinionated. I'm assuming that this is almost. I'm looking at the results of a collaboration, not something being posed upon horses, but an iterative process of helping define what they enjoy and the control we need. Is that?
Yeah, that was the ideal, but obviously to our standards, some of these pieces will be extremely harsh on the horse.
Yeah.
But also you have to consider how they were used. So a bit like this, you will barely touch the rein. It's a bit like, Western riders do today. You have loose reins, basically. And it wouldn't be the first bit you will put in the horse's mouth. There's a whole training about it. And so it depends on the use of it. But here you have some selection of kind of experimental bits as well, because there is in the 16th century this interest in science and everything, so they developed even more types of mouthpiece and trying to correct the horse's flaws through the mouthpiece. So it's not some rollers put in any random order. So they will think about, if you put this kind of roller, if you put these kind of things, it would have some kind of effect on the horse's behavior, the horse's position, and also it is adapted to one horse. So each of them would be tailor-made to the horse, to fit the horse's mouth. If he has a thick tongue or the small mouth. And all of this, it actually explained in all the books that were published at the time.
Well, so that's the other part, is that the makers of these bits, these are almost they're catalogs of what they make?
Yeah, well, this one is being made by the maker, but this is exceptional. Usually they will be made this one by equestrian themselves, so noblemen, so two noblemen. So these are books on horse medicine or scare, and also on horse bits. So we have like pages of different mouthpieces, and with the explanation of what that mouthpiece does.
So it's like an education in
exactly.
the category.
So you can actually also advise your bit maker, like, I have this horse, I need to do these things. Right. While this one is being made by his maker, Hans Kressberger, and as a kind of a catalog of all the things he can do, and with the captions, once again, to tell you what the use of this specific bit or that specific mouthpiece. And the bit we sing here, like all dismantled, actually right here, that's a similar bit.
It's very, very similar.
Exactly. Wow. So the specificity of that bit is like it's adjustable. So instead of like different bits for different horses, you would have like one bit and would just adjust the length, all the parts. You can change the mouth part as well. You can unscrew the thing and change all the parts, so you can adapt to different horses.
I think of products that include like very, very bizarre and disparate iterations, and also lots of adjustability as being a mostly 20th century phenomenon. It's amazing to go hundreds of years back and find both structural reconfigurability and also this incredible breadth of execution.
Yeah, and when we go to these kind of things as well, this is one of the extreme like horse beating. Basically, this is early 17th century, made in Germany with this style like that was specific to like bit makers in southern Germany, with all this piece work and like great metal work. So these are like masterpieces in itself, and like for like iron making. But also here, so the idea is like you have like two sets of reins. I will hold it the way it was in the horse's mouth, like this more vertical. So the horse's mouth should be here.
Fights over all that stuff.
Where my hand here. And you have like one set of reins attached here. I would like,
sort of like directly attached to its
attached
mouth.
to it, so we would rotate that part and have an effect of everything that goes into the mouth. And had a second set of reins at the bottom here. Well, that other pair of levers are drawn, and here at the back, through those hooks, you would have like the curb chain going around the horse's chin, and it would oppresses the horse's chin. So just like two separate actions made of two different pairs of reins. So they were experimenting on their like dressage horses, so you don't take that onto battle.
Right. This is about very fine control and communication.
Exactly, just like basically like research and how you can like, have an action on a horse through the bit. So like this is the extreme of it, of course. And then because they were like very difficult object to make, and like there were also objects of curiosity. You would like show your friends.
Oh, right, yeah.
Talk about it with the books. There was.
Did you get the new bit? I got the new bit.
Exactly.
I'm impressed and amazed by how contemporary these shackles look. I buy and use pieces that look just like this.
Yeah, when technology works, it just endures.
Amazing.
Basically. Yeah.
Do you have an opinion about whether or not this would have been a nice or a bad thing to do to a horse?
This one was, even for like 17th century standards, was pretty harsh, to be honest.
It looks like it.
Because actually, most of the equestrian books of the time, even when they present hundreds of different shapes, they say, well, actually the best bit for a horse is the simplest one.
Right.
It's like you're training as a good equestrian. That is the most important. And also you even have like sometimes, for example, Italian authors saying like, oh, what they do in Germany is bad. So like just like,
right, everyone's pooping on everyone else's work.
Exactly, that's not new.
Fair, yeah.
So everyone has his own technique, his own like things. But even if you're not using them, like having the book at home, knowing about them was part of the gentleman's culture of the time.
Okay.
It was, you had to know it. You had to have the books at home to be seen as an educated gentleman.
Amazing. I want to talk just about the last two we haven't really spoken about. This one is so sculptural, these giant bells on it is amazing.
Yeah, and this one is, once again, one of those like experimental shapes. You unscrew the bosses here. I will do it all the way. It's a bit long up. And here you can open this. And actually, this bit was a bridleless bit. So you don't need the straps around the head to have this in the horse's mouth. So you would like place it in the horse's mouth and pinch the horse's cheek here, and then secure it with the boss. So your bit will like hang on itself by itself from the horse's mouth. Obviously not very comfortable for the horse. One time when they were trying like just new things and probably kept them are just, you know, a curiosity, basically. It never really kicked off. But yeah, it's part of like the bizarre things that we find it. And we find those things in the books as well. So it was a thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then this one, which looks right out of Lord of the Rings.
Yes, indeed. This one is like very, very impressive. Once again, when we have looks like weird shapes, either for the mouthpiece or for the rays, we try to find in the book, you know, an answer for what they were used for, because sometimes it's not very obvious. We find several in the book, several descriptions of bits with spikes, not exactly like this, but sometimes they say they were made for like preventing someone to grab the bit, or for some others to prevent the horse to like bend his head so much that, you know, his nose would be against the chest, and if he presses the bit against the chest, you lose control because you lose leverage. So it would like the spike. But in this case, since it has this like very specific
specific kind of movement.
Movement, in which like it's based on like earlier medieval bits, and at that period usually bits like this, it's either for mules, or we have also description of bits like this used for hunting. And so it may have been a hunting bit. So the spikes will maybe prevent the horse to be bitten by a wolf, something like this, because very similar to the dog collars they were using for hunting at that time. So maybe, once again, it's very experimental, but maybe the thought behind this one was to protect the horse to be bitten, attacked by a wolf, you know, with those spikes.
So not a torture device.
No, it's not torture for the horse. The horse's mouth is actually here, so it's actually rather gentle one.
And these look like fun to chew on. Are you continually surprised by the variance in execution of all these different artisans?
Yeah, definitely. And when you flip through those books, you know, sometimes you don't know to what extent all the shapes and types like described in the book were made or not. We don't really know. Maybe some of them were never made. They were like speculative. Actually, sometimes in the book you find the same shapes in two different books with different caption. So we never really know if the effects were really effective. So, but in reality, we find a lot of varieties. So everything was possible. We're not sure like everything was actually made. But to be certain, like this is like a great example of metalwork at the time. Only the most talented bit makers were capable of doing so. So only the wealthiest people were capable of affording it. So beyond their use, there were obviously objects of like social status and something, as I said, you show your friends, it's a nerdy topic of
that you can afford the artisans that make these.
Exactly.
Yeah. I as I look close up at some of these pieces, I was saying this off camera that the mindset of only files are doing this. It's not a lathe, there's no machine tools. And you can see that, and yet the refinement and precision is just completely there. Also, this little bit of a square ring that the whole thing slides through is a beautiful little stabilizer.
Yeah, we can flip the back, we see all the different screws, you know, different adjustments. You can hear once again.
Look at all that.
The hooks for the curb also
and that's
adjust.
Also adjustable.
Yes, same. And we can see this is tinned. This is tin iron to protect you from moisture and especially, you know, the horse's saliva and sweat. So it prevents the iron from rusting.
It is almost like a glimpse into like car enthusiast culture from hundreds of years ago. Marina, thank you so much. This is
Welcome.
amazing. Thank you so much for watching that video. If while watching any of my videos you like any of the t-shirts that you see me wearing, well, you can go buy them. And there's two places you can get them. First, you can go to tested-store.com, a web address that my crew laughs is one of the hardest things for me to remember in my whole brain. But now they've given me a second URL. You can now go to adamsavage.com and buy any of the t-shirts you see me wearing on this channel. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff there too. Thanks.